Welcome back, everyone. It is the Red Card Podcast. Surya, how have you been? Not many matches since we played. A few got called off because of COVID. Looking good in your beanie there.
It's wild, dude. Then I think it was the game against Leeds or something, or maybe the game against Norwich. It was like, oh, this is Norwich's or Leeds' first game in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my god, I wish Arsenal had 2 weeks off. How nice would that be? But like every other team is getting wrecked, and the league's like, oh, you guys can have a break. You guys can have a break. Arsenal is getting no breaks, and all of our right. So we have no right backs right now. They all either have COVID or are injured.
Mm.
Well, actually, no, it's all COVID. So the next game Arsenal have against Wolves is canceled, so thank God. But the one against Man City, we probably won't have Tomiyasu back for that. So that's gonna be interesting.
For COVID.
And Thomas Party is gone for AFCON.
It was Norwich, but Ben White did deputize in the game against Norwich.
Yeah,
So
he did well. He did well.
there's an option.
Right back, yeah. But it's not ideal. But again, I'm more concerned about that Man City game with Thomas Party. I feel like
Mm.
with him and the team and Jacques, we could have put in a really solid sort of like performance. Like even if we lost, right? Like something, I guess, to be proud of. But you know
Yeah.
what? I guess we'll see. I mean, they aren't really our competition. It's more Spurs, and that game after City is against Spurs, and it's at Spurs, and that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you got a tough fixture list. We'll get on to that when we'll talk
Yeah.
about Arsenal and the top four race. I do want to just comment on what you just brought up, the teams getting wrecked, just because I don't know, it's important to me, player welfare. There's a lot of like people talking about it now. I'm looking at a quote here. Actually, here I can pull it up for people to see as well. Why not? Yeah, so I guess I saw this credit to the fraud lord Hugh Izzy out there, who I was watching the stream of before we got on here, who brought this up in Paper Talk actually. Guardiola, one of the headlines in the week, and I guess Benitez as well, and some other managers are concerned about player welfare. And I think here he was kind of warning, and I guess he was even suggesting to the players,
Yeah.
like if you want change here, in terms of like getting the league to like stop looking at TV fixtures and completely ignoring your welfare, you're gonna have to strike. And I guess let's see if I can find the quote exactly. He says. Should the players and managers be all together and make a strike? Manchester City manager said, just through words, it's not going to be solved. For FIBA, the Premier League, and the broadcasters, the business is more important than their welfare. The simplest example is all around the world. They have 5 substitutions. Here, it's still 3. Tell me one argument to take care of players' welfare than this one. Here, where everyone decides for themselves, we didn't do it. So I don't know that five subs was a thing. Even the winter break is a thing that we still don't give in England. I mean, this whole Christmas period, Boxing Day
Yeah.
schedule. I mean, we were talking about it even last week when we were previewing the matches. I was looking at the Premier League website, and then you see the ad of just the Boxing Day. They're not going to do anything. And I guess now you have the COVID element, right, where it's not just injuries that there's, because every other season, like obviously this is a special thing, but like even before the COVID, like this was still a time where teams would get wrecked. This was still a time when there was fixture congestion and pile up, games every 3 days. So add to that now that there's Rona going everywhere and the squads are depleted. I mean, this is a mess, and you already had managers. The Brentford manager before everybody was asking to just take 2 weeks off, just cut the league off.
Yeah, exactly.
Let the leagues get the players away from each other, let them all isolate, get all the facilities cleaned and everything, get them together into like, bring it to like a positive COVID standard. In any case, it's been a freaking mess, and I guess
Yeah, like it has been. Although I think, one thing I'm surprised about are the lack of injuries for Arsenal. Like Arsenal at this time, usually it's prime time for everyone to be complaining that this period so and so is injured, our team is weak, and we're gonna lose games. But it just hasn't happened this time around.
I mean,
surprisingly.
look, you didn't have European football
Okay,
for
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that is certainly
Well, also, I mean,
yeah.
is there any European football in this time period? There isn't, right? So it's
No,
not really.
but when you think about the uh I was actually watching a good video from the YouTuber I shouted out last week that you give shit
Mhm.
to the where when you look at the buildup of the players being in that red zone of
Yeah,
in the sports science fitness lingo, you know, there's more games where like, in the top teams like they have to play in those Champions League games a lot of the times. So like they're playing in the red zone all the time, and they're like building up to this place where they're like they're injured or not, or in more injury prone, or they're like pushing their body to a higher limit. And then obviously then the fixture pileup comes up. If you have an important fixture in the you have like a near Boxing Day fixture with like a rival like United or City, if you're Liverpool or something like that, you gotta play you gotta have them in it. But yeah, I mean there's other factors, and there's always luck too. With injuries. But yeah. All right, shall we get to the fixtures,
let's do
Bakshi?
it.
Oh yeah, my notes I have Arsenal on top, so I like to start. I like to see you happy. So let's talk about it. Obviously there's the caveats. It's Norwich. They're basically a championship side. They're going down. They don't belong in the Prem. But you got to beat what's in front of you. And what I liked, and I saw this when doing the rounds on the YouTube fan content of the Arsenal fans. Ruthless was a word that came up a lot, and putting them to the sword. So that I think is encouraging, not just like a 2-1 win against I think it was Newcastle or some other result of a Premier League bottom of the league side. That it was kind of like shaky, but this was a battering. So like, how do you feel?
I mean, so I mean, yeah, I get it. It's a crap tier team, but like I haven't seen Arsenal beat even a crap tier team 5-0 or like so I guess comprehensively in a long time. Like I think um even probably the same game last year, right? I think it's a point I brought up last week as well that one concern the whole team I think all of last season was creating chances from open play, right? Scoring goals from open play. A lot of our chances came from set pieces and sort
Mm.
of penalty kicks. And this season, like it's completely turned around. I think Arteta in the interview after Norwich said, yeah, like now how we progress into that attacking third, and
Mm.
how we shape up when we're there has improved tenfold. And exactly that's happening, right? Like we have like
Mm.
the open play chances are being created
Mm.
all the time. We're scoring so many more goals because of it. And so, yeah, I mean, it is again just Norwich, but a lot of happy points, a lot of things to be proud of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have. Arsenal
And
have a
Ian
style of
Smith
play.
Rowe, shout out, 8 goals already. This guy, our youngsters
Emil.
are having to
Mm.
break the season.
And it
Odegaard
was
is
late in the game too. It was the fifth goal,
he's,
right?
he's a new
Off the
superstar. Yeah.
bench. Yeah, I mean, I know. And honestly, like, I was gonna say like Arsenal have a style of play. You can see also. I mean, the jokes were trust the process, but
Yeah.
you can see slowly like the team needs to develop. They need to play with each other. They need to have adversity with each other. And this is obviously you hope that they can
Yeah.
repeat this in a game. Obviously like City's gonna be tough. Like let's
Yeah.
be real, but against the real opposition. But this was great. And Odegaard also, I wanted to give him a shout out.
Oh yeah.
His
Killing
link
it.
up play and his assists. I mean, this kid. Look, he was a sensation when he went to Real Madrid. I remember like watching YouTube videos as a kid, and like he was coming up, and he was like,
Yeah.
he was like the Norwegian Messi or whatever. So I always was like following this kid, and like,
Mm.
look, like, I mean, look, it's a young squad. It's a full. But there's vibrant energy in there, and I guess what was the Saka's first goal? Just the quick passing from one player to another. Odegaard with the
Yeah.
quick. It's just like there was such a dynamism there. That's just and
The
and
whole
you
team is
yeah
the whole team is so sharp. It's
exactly.
incredible. And he's icing on top. Icing on top.
And the thing is also they're so young, so you haven't even neared the prime. So you're gonna
Yeah.
have 2, 3, 4 more seasons
Yeah.
for those players to like really grow into those roles. Like imagine what that's gonna look like 3 seasons from now. Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and a new striker, not like a Zed. Some new.
All we need, yeah, exactly. That's I think the last missing
Mm,
piece in a quality striker.
absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, just a point on Saka, great finish there. I guess that really just started the onslaught. That's kind of what I had here. Laka, I wanted to give him a shout out. He's that the man works for the team. I think
Man,
that
we're
was a
done.
big, that, sometimes, I guess, like in recent years, the striker is it's not on vogue anymore. There's no real striker like Shearer
Yeah.
used to be or Bergkamp, like, the man up front or doing the hold up play. But now it's like, I mean, the false nine is sometimes you see it on the City, you see it in Roberto Firmino in Liverpool. Not necessarily that, but it's some guy in the middle who's can be in the box and be a poacher, but also link up play and run for the team and create space off the
Mhm.
ball. And Lacazette does that, and that was what was Aubameyang wasn't doing, and
Mhm.
and and frankly, I mean everybody's been saying it, but that was I think a big turning point.
Yeah,
Laca,
like, exactly. I was watching. I think it was Tim Sherwood who was saying
mm,
it. Yeah, Tim Sherwood on one of the post matches. He was saying exactly that. That Lacazette is playing like Firmino does in that same sort of.
mm,
He's playing with his mind. Like he knows
exactly.
where to be. He knows how to
Mm.
how to make room for everyone else to score.
That's exactly it. And it's interesting because I think when I remember watching him and he was struggling in the earlier days of Arsenal, he was always trying to get the goal, always like looking for and trying maybe a bit too hard and to do something that wasn't really on. But
Yeah,
now, if you when you work as a team and you work as a unit, and that's why again that turning point is like I'm not gonna just play you because we're paying you however many
yeah,
hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, and you sell shirts Obama. No, 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 no. I'm gonna play the guys who are gonna work hard on the pitch right now, and who are gonna create the space
yeah.
for these young players
One thing
to
I will
shine.
say though about Lacazette is like even in the last game, there were chances where I think he should have scored and like he was sort of unable to
Mm,
finish the chance, right? So I think hopefully with a few more games on his belt, he'll start to score goals again. But I mean,
yeah.
I heard that Arsenal offered him a 1 year contract,
Oh.
but I mean, like he said no, right? I mean, like I understand, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like at his age, like if he stays a year more,
Yeah.
the odds of him having a long contract after that anywhere else is low, right? So
Yeah.
like might as well
Exactly.
go somewhere else
Exactly.
now and have like
And
multiple
he
year
could go
contract.
somewhere. Like he could go somewhere like I see him going to somewhere like Spain, or Italy. Like I could see him
Imagine
go
he
to
goes to
Atletico Madrid.
United. I mean, United. That'd be
United?
wild.
You think
Wild.
United that would take him?
Bro, they need somebody. They don't have bro. Marcus Rashford
You heard
is
it
in
here
the front.
first, bro. Lock it to United.
Marcus Rashford is done, bro. He's washed up. He's wasted.
Marcus
Um,
Rashford is one of my favorite strikers. He's got such a good finish on him, and I guess I love the stuff he does off the
Martial
pitch.
is washed up, wasted.
I mean, Martial even said he wants to leave. He's already told Ragnick. I heard it in the commentary today in the match.
As far as I'm concerned, bro, he's not even there anymore. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems United are like that team who like who'll go out and buy an old striker. They did with that Igalo guy, I think his name was,
Odin
and
Igalo,
then
yeah. What a throwback.
like
The Watford striker.
out of nowhere, it's like, oh, we signed, we desperately need a striker. Oh,
We did
this
similar, right? Remember when the deadline day
is,
punt on Mario Balotelli?
oh yeah, Mario played for Liverpool,
You
bro.
remember that,
What
right?
happened to that?
That was
And,
crazy. Mario and Fabio Borini.
I love Fabio Mourinho, bro. I love Mario Balotelli. I used to be like way back an AC Milan fan,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Wild is me.
after everyone left, like the whole along with Ibrahimovic and Thiago Silva, after like there was the whole exodus, he came back to the club, and it was him and Stephen El Shaarawy that were lighting up the
Oh, I
Serie A.
remember him.
Stephen El Shaarawy were lighting
El
up the Serie A.
Shaarawy with that hair. Oh, El Shaarawy.
And then I remember I think it was in the
Yo, let me
Heroes of
bust
the
it out.
World Cup, Italy against Germany. Those two goals he scored. Like I remember he scored those goals against Germany. He made it look so easy. I was like, wow, this guy is something else.
Bro, look at this guy's hair. El Shaarawy. Let me bust this guy. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think now he's at Roma or Lazio, but I think it's Roma. No, no, go back to like even older, like the clearer mohawk. Like this guy was. This
Oh,
guy's
you want to
half Egyptian, bro.
see? Let's
Yeah,
see.
they called him some kind of
Which one?
pharaoh,
Which one
some
do you?
kind of
Which
yeah,
one do you
some
like here? This guy? Oh yeah,
pharaoh,
this is the one. This is the one you want.
some pharaoh. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the pixelage on this is gonna be sick. Okay, I guess it's not. It's still pixelated, but this is
There
good.
you go.
Here we'll show the friends.
Yeah.
El Sharawi, look at that hair.
Right, exactly. That's the that's
Look
the
at
money right
that.
there. That's the
The
money shot. But
money
yeah,
shot.
him and Balotelli, Ricardo Montolivo were all hot stuff, you know. And then Montolivo had that injury right before I think the World Cup, and that sort of like I feel like almost like ended his career because after that, after he came back, he left Milan. He wasn't in the international squad, but him, El Shaarawy, I remember that game against Barcelona at the San Siro when they won 2-0. Oh my god, good memory, bro. I lost my mind during that game. I was
Oh, wow,
so
dude.
happy.
Dude, I remember there were we had some walks home where we had some good Champions League. Like it was good to have different clubs to follow, you know, like
Yeah.
in the interesting. Well, you talked about United. Let's transition to them if you already brought them up.
Yeah.
The match was today. I just saw the highlights again after I watched most of the match, kind of in and out from the kitchen. But yeah, man. I mean, they look lackluster AF. I mean, I know Ragnick is there for like a kind of a interim, and he's gonna go to the,
Ed Woodward, right?
consultancy. Yeah, whatever the board consultancy position.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, there's doesn't seem to be an energy there. There doesn't seem to be an excitement or a passion, and I guess you talked about old strikers. Cavani came in the clutch. At the end of the day, he wins. He salvages their point. I mean, it's a good finish there. But man, I mean, they didn't look good all game. I mean, Newcastle
Bro,
looked the better
you
team.
know that you're in dire straits as a club if you got Ronaldo on the field and you're relying on Edinson Cavani to
Bro,
to
36
score
year
you a
old
draw.
Edison Cavani, bro.
To score you a draw.
How old? Like, you know what I mean? Well,
Bro,
they're both 36. That isn't it? Like,
United, I mean, but it's Ronaldo. You know,
wow,
bro,
he's young.
United are washed up. United are washed up.
Washed up.
Dead.
You know,
Old.
yeah.
You know, they really put the old in Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, wait. I wonder what the average age of their squad is compared to the rest of the league. I'm sure
Probably
Arsenal is
around
one of
40.
the youngest.
Arsenal is, I think, the youngest.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but yeah, Ronaldo. It was interesting. I just watched Hugh Izzy, and Hugh Izzy said he likened his performance to a Balogun performance because he doesn't get enough, minutes on the pitch. So he's always trying to impress. Doing
Yeah.
stepovers where he doesn't need to, taking a shot when there's 4 defenders in front of him. And that's where he is. And you can see, the body
Yeah.
language. That is something I do notice. Like every time the pass goes off, he's like shrugging his shoulders. His head is down. He's like walking slowly.
That's exactly what Gary Neville was saying at halftime. He's like whinging. Everyone's on the field whinging, like with their hands up, like
Yeah, exactly.
rolling their eyes. Like these people, he said, these players will get every manager fired.
I mean, look, I think that I look
I mean,
back and yeah, go ahead.
If you're relying on the mystery machine Fred, bro, like you're in dire straits.
Yeah, that was a great gift. I wish I had my signal open to.
If you're relying
bust
on
it out.
Harry Maguire, brought to you by Lowe's Hardware and Appliance, you're in dire straits.
Mystery machine and carrying the big lunky fridge. Oh
And
my god.
Lowe's brand Lowe's brand appliances. Manchester United
Oh
brought
my
to you by
god.
Lowe's, bro.
Oh
Brought
my
to you by
god.
Lowe's.
Yeah, well, I guess what I was gonna say is that I basically looked. We talked about Ragnick a couple weeks ago, and I thought, oh yeah, he's gonna bring good energy, all this and that, and like even this season, I thought there would be like he would implant in them like, okay, this is gonna be your style. This is gonna be like we're gonna get a manager who's gonna maybe just the high intensity, the standards, whatever. But
Yeah.
man, maybe I was wrong. I think I just been wrong about like how that dressing room is right now. I mean, is Ragnick really gonna hold any water still against Ronaldo? Like, you know what I mean in that kind of
I
sense?
agree. Like I thought that
Yeah?
Ragnick, like because the squad on paper is not that bad, right?
Mm.
But I think scientists always say like that shit is a good fertilizer. I just think I think They haven't. They have yet to examine the pitch at Old Trafford. I think if they look there, they'll realize there is
They'll
something in
find.
too
They'll
much
find.
shit. Too much
Too
shit.
much shit, huh? Well,
And you
yeah.
can't grow anything, even with great seeds.
Oh man. Well, United are in the shit. To be fair, they were supposed to be in the top four challenge. I thought they were gonna challenge for the league in the beginning of the season. What a foolish opinion that was. Uh, but man, I mean, I guess who wasn't shit was Alan Saint Maximin and Newcastle today. Let's give them some
Oh yeah,
credit on the other side
Saint
of this
Maximin,
performance.
great guy. Love him.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, look, I think he does have he showboats a little bit too much. I think he tries to
Yeah.
take on a man too much, and maybe do a little dribble where he doesn't need to, where he
Hmm.
can kind of make a move and make a pass. But he was fantastic today. I mean, a fantastic finish. He was all over the place there, on the wing and around the 18-yard box, kind of getting in in there and making chances. I really feel for them. I mean, I know I'm skipping a little ahead of my notes, but like they lost, Newcastle lost Wilson and Saint Maximin
Yeah.
today. And I don't know
Wow.
what that means for their season, bro.
Wow.
I mean, this is there. Could they
And
be,
they need them. They need them badly.
dude? That is their whole attacking line right there. And Joel Linton, to be fair to him, has been picking up, and he deserves mention today for a very good performance. I don't really know. I guess Hugh he was talking about maybe a challenge or something that was in the yellow card. I guess I did see the yellow card that he was booked
Hmm.
for like dissent or whatever the hell. But I don't know what I didn't. I don't know if I saw the highlight of like what the challenge was that he was that like the ref like booked him on or like called him on originally. But apparently like that kind of like took the wind out of his sails.
Yeah.
But man, like that's their whole front line. And I guess like
That is, yeah.
they have cash, and in January they could. I mean, who would go to there? I mean, like
They really need just a stopgap solution. Look, like if I was them, what I would do is I would honestly go to the championship and scout some
just
players on.
poach a striker.
Yeah, I mean, like of course, they won't actually get anyone who's in the top two teams in the championship because those two teams
What
could be
about
in the league
Martial,
anyway.
bro? What about a Martial?
Martial,
What about Martial?
Newcastle French. There you go, perfect.
I mean, we're
Match made
talking.
in
I mean,
heaven.
like that. Like that's a good shout, like what you said. But also, you could go for like someone who's
Yeah,
pretty good, but sitting on the bench at a Premier League side.
it's
Similar
true.
to like Jesse Lingard going to West Ham, and like similar to like. Well, I guess before he moved was it Callum? Or I forget. But in any case, like you could go for
Yeah.
someone like that. I guess and I guess Martial has expressed that he wants to leave. I mean, hell yeah. I mean, like, you know what I want? Like, Martial, Coutinho. Come on, get me some high name players. Like, Coutinho, come
What
back,
they
bro.
should do, bro. Coutinho going to Newcastle.
Come back, bro. Come back. They'll pay your wages, be in the Prem, score some goals from the left, get maybe a
I mean,
blonde
that's if they
highlights
stay
in
up.
your curls.
That's if they stay up.
Yeah, well, that's
I
the
mean,
thing.
can you
Like,
imagine Coutinho playing in the championship? What an embarrassment that would be for his
that
career.
would be so. Where is he playing now?
I
He's
feel
playing
so.
in Barca B. Like, what? You know what? Oh
Exactly.
man, dude, I'll never forget, bro. That was like the biggest ripoff of all time. We sold that kid for
Unbelievable money.
140 million.
Unbelievable
A
money, bro.
hundred and
What?
forty. Do you understand? That's more than what City was offering Tottenham for Harry Kane,
Unreal, bro. Unreal.
and they paid it. Biggest ripoff of all time, bro.
But that just shows you
Michael
Barcelona,
Edwards,
bro. Bar
genius,
standards.
dude.
Bro,
That's why that
fucking
club is in shambles, bro. That is why
when you
that was
choices like that.
that was the dumbest business decision, but that was the most genius move by our sporting director, bro. Oh my fucking, or by our, yeah, fuck me, amazing. In any case, fantastic, and I guess like, hold on, let's just like give a mention. David De Gea, fucking amazing today, and Sam Maximan, come on, bro. How do you not finish that? Do you see
Come
that
on, bro.
chance? Oh,
Yeah.
and that certainly is the chance that relates to your gift from the channel. Like Shaggy and Scooby. Here, I gotta find that. I gotta
Trying
find
to
that.
spot the
I gotta-
danger. They're trying to spot the danger.
Do you have the link for the gift that you sent in the thing?
I can probably send it on the chat
Yeah,
on
sh-
straight through.
in Shitty Titty? Yeah, send it in there.
Yeah.
And while you do that, I'll start the conversation about the other side of Manchester. We'll talk about City. On this podcast so far, in our few episodes, I've always said City are boring. But I want to talk
Yeah.
about them today. I think, you know, well, maybe I'll start with Pep's comments because I wasn't surprised, but, he
Yeah.
said they were never in control. I don't know, man. I was watching the first half hour of that match. No, actually, no. I'll tell you. Remember, I shared before we started recording. I shared with Surya that on my Israeli channels when I watch the games, they have this kind of red zone style, like on one of the channels where they'll have one broadcast. And I was actually
Uh,
watching that West Ham Southampton game, and they kept cutting in to the City game. It was like every 5 minutes. They like, and it was funny because the first goal that I saw when they cut in, it was 2-0. It was 10 minutes in, and and it shows the score at the bottom,
yeah.
and when they're cutting into the game, it's gonna be a goal. So I looked at the bottom. I'm like, it's already 1-0. It's 10 minutes. Oh, so this is gonna be 2-0. 2-0, 10 minutes. I'm like, bro, this team was in control. And I even flipped to the game for a little bit. They were in control. And I guess, when I did see that period where Leicester got back in it after
Yeah.
after the 4-0, I understand Pep's comments. But come on. 6-4, they just turn it, maybe they turn down the gear and then they put it. They're just like, oh shit, they're back. Leicester are 4-3 up. Let's turn it back into gear one, and we'll get this. And they have no striker. Everyone was like, oh, they need Harry Kane. Are they gonna be, bro? Chelsea signed Romelu Lukaku. He falls off a cliff, I guess, until today, and we'll talk about him in a bit. But these guys are thrashing teams left and right. And I guess Leicester are bottle jobs. But what do you think of this city? I mean, to me, they're in
Bro,
control of the title race.
Guardiola just cannot be stopped. Like no matter
Cannot be stopped.
Jesus Christ, he just finds a way to make the team work. Like it's unbelievable,
It's a
unbelievable.
force
bro.
to be
This
reckoned
guy.
with the style that they play. I mean, and look,
Unbelievable.
there are players who are getting finishes. Sterling was notoriously not a great finisher, but he is improving and improving. And I guess you have goals coming from all over the pitch. I mean, you had Laporte get a goal to start
Yeah.
to get the 5-3, which was it's like a little cushion again after Leicester got back in it. But yeah, man, I mean they are ruthless, and I don't see anyone unseating them really. I mean, and look, I think it's unfortunate because I don't think they'll win the Champions League. They're just not. Maybe they will, and that's really what
Really?
they're gonna go for. I
You think
don't.
they won't?
I
I mean,
think that
who's
over
out
the
there who can stop
season
them?
they are the best
I
consistency.
mean,
But on
who
their
out there
day,
can stop them? That's my point. Who can stop them?
I mean, look, I think that's the thing. Any of the English clubs, we've done. I think Chelsea and Liverpool, frankly, are the most likely to stop them. Even PSG, I think, could stop them. To be fair, like if they're on their day, like.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, even Bayern could stop them. But I think, you know, yes, over the season, Liverpool's squad maybe doesn't have enough, and maybe Chelsea's squad doesn't have enough experience. But on a one-off day, as we saw in the final last
Mhm.
season, you can beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think Pep cares about the league more or the Champions?
Champions League, bro,
Really?
100%, 100%. At this point, he's won too many leagues. You know what I mean? At this point, deep down, I think he'd be lying if he
I,
said he cares about the league more at this point, considering it's definitely one of the objectives since he got there. That was literally
of
one
course.
of the
Also,
reasons.
like I don't know. I feel like it's for someone like Pep who's so I don't want to say practical, but academic maybe is the word. Like I think internally he'll think, okay, the league is, you have to play 38 games
Mm.
and you have to, over the long run, you have to be the best. And so to him, I'd feel like, that would be a greater vindication of him as the manager and his team rather than Champions League. Of course, that would be nice, but I don't know. I really think he
Yeah,
cares about the league more because the league is where he is playing against Klopp. He's playing against Thomas Tuchel in the
Tuchel, yeah,
long run.
yeah. Conte.
Conte, exactly.
Mm, yeah, I bring up Conte. Let's move to Spurs then. I guess
But they are looking like they have it. They have some semblance of a team again, and
dude,
I'm worried about the next North London derby.
3 games in hand on you.
3 games in hand, it's unreal.
So that was the thing. Like we didn't really talk about it this time, guys. We did talk about it last week a lot. So I think we both agree Arsenal are on for top 4. But the one thread now, dude, I think it's Conte and Spurs.
I think it is too. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. That
It's
they
not West Ham. It's not United. I mean, of course, not United, but
no, dude.
Content Spurs. I
United
mean
are
that.
done, bro.
I think that North London derby will be the game that sort of
When is that?
sets the path
Do we know the date
for
of that?
top
Here,
four.
let me find the fixtures here. North London Derby, you say?
That is on January 16th.
Okay.
So in more than 2 weeks though.
Okay, so there still will be a couple of fixtures in between that. So you'll have, oh wow, Liverpool Chelsea is in the game week before that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy.
Saturday is Arsenal and Man City.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Get in. Oh man, are we gonna watch that?
We should
I'll
probably
watch that.
watch it like online
Yeah,
together.
online,
And then after that is Liverpool Arsenal in the EFL Cup. Although I think
That's right.
Klopp is
Two
not going to
legs.
really care about the EFL Cup, so I think Arsenal have that in the bag probably.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind winning the EFL Cup, and I think it's nice. It's North London and Chelsea and Liverpool now, so it's pretty much a nice
Although
not
I mean,
City
like,
will win.
wouldn't you rather care about the FA Cup and the Champions League and not the EFL and Champions League? Because
I
mean,
just
FA
don't
Cup is
care.
cool.
I don't really care about. Sorry, to the EFL. I don't really care about either of the cups, FA Cup or. I just and I get the magic of the FA Cup. I've been enough to England to be like,
Yeah.
okay, I understand the magic of the FA Cup. And obviously, I follow now #United. Don't forget to hashtag it. And they're running the FA Cup, and that's where I think the beauty of the FA Cup is, where it's like the smaller teams can really come up. But yeah, man, I don't really care for those. But it would be nice, just for the team to get a little trophy, because I don't know if they will win the league or the Champions League this season. It would be tough. So it's like even just getting a little trophy. It's in February. You might be able to play the kids in between. And maybe you won't have Mo Salah, I think, for one of the legs or whatever. But like in February, you might be able to just in a one-off game, you play Spurs, you play Chelsea, and you win a little trophy.
Yeah.
You get a good day out for the fans. So it's a good vibe, and maybe that spurs you on to like want to win the Champions League by the end of the season or something like that.
Well, it's also nice, yeah. I mean, like I understand, right? It's like EFL Cup ends earlier, so it's
Exactly.
not as much of a distraction if you're like ahead in the Champions.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the. I mean, that draw. We didn't, since our last broadcast, that shambolic draw happened. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that proved that this shit was
Not
fixed.
get that wrong. I don't.
Nah,
can't get
dude,
it
that
wrong.
that proved that the game is fixed, bro. There's no chance. Because the first round had Messi, Ronaldo. There's no chance, bro. That is fixed. It's fucking rigged. UEFA is fucking rigged. Let me tell you, bro. I think I agree with you, Izzy, on this one.
I agree with you on that a little bit because one, yeah, of course, Ronaldo, Messi, but then the second one is right. Like, I find it so hard to believe that they screwed something up that they've been doing forever, and two, that is so trivially easy to do.
Dude,
That there's no
it's
way.
putting paper in a fucking ball. It's like, what is that? It's like 12-year-olds do that for the fucking the raffle at the high at the fucking middle school. It's like, this is ridiculous. Like, and honestly, like, it's sad because we saw that Super League happen, and we saw the fans come up, and it was a realization that this is a Super League already. Then you look at our league, and it's like, this is a Super League. You look at the top six, and it's like, even West Ham, they have nothing in them. They don't have a deep enough squad. It's the top six. They have all the money. They can attract the biggest managers. They have the biggest stadiums. I saw some of the Thogden's content from the Spurs game from the stands, and they have the Americanized, screens. Heung-min Son, and it like has the graphic of him like spinning with the flames or something. I'm like, dude, of course, bro. This is sports entertainment, as Hugh said today.
Like,
Fraud Lord, shut
like,
up.
is the Super League within the Premier League really a horrible thing? Like, I don't know that it is. I think, all right, because every club, right, can Okay, so you come
Hmm.
into this problem of, right, like, what does it mean to be fair, right? What it means to be fair is that
Interesting.
anyone can win, right?
Hmm.
Like, but I mean, the idea, the very idea that you pay the winners more than the losers, right? Like that in itself is sort of self-defeating. So like, if you
Yeah.
think that is the right way to do it, that somebody who wins gets paid more than somebody who loses, and of course that you would say that's a fair allocation. Then then having this super league is just a consequence of that, and then then it shouldn't be a problem, right? Like every club has its place, so to speak, right? And
Yeah.
saying that, oh, Everton should be able to become number one is either one sort of a personal kind of thing of the owner being like, oh, I want this, I want my team to be fucking number one, or it's like the fans want number one. But I mean, it's not really a problem, I think.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, let's just take an example. Obviously, it's not the same because we have the, league trees in
Yeah,
football.
that's
But
true.
when you look at the American leagues and they have this, like, draft system
Yeah.
and actual salary caps, you know what
Hmm.
I mean? Now, there are situations where you see teams abusing those salary caps
Yeah.
and getting away with it, and that's a whole other story. But that forces the leagues to shuffle around. You see, that's where
Yeah.
you see like the different players going to
Exactly.
different teams, and then like different teams rising and falling. Now, obviously, like you would hope that on a football league level, teams would be
Yeah.
okay with the investment flowing down the whole league pyramid, so that you could have these situations where maybe financial fair play puts City in a position where they have to shuffle and they get to the mid-table after being a
Hmm.
Galacticos, and then some other group of six go and challenge because they had to offload certain players and they couldn't have certain number of players on the wage bill for that amount of money, and they were demanding more, so the guy left to Bayern or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we had a little bit more structure in place, you could conceive of a league like that. But of course, like that's
I mean,
never gonna
that is
happen.
a super league, right? The NFL is a super league. The
A hundred
NBA is a
percent, a
super
hundred
league,
percent,
right?
and that's what they want. That's what they want
And it
here,
works
right? And
for
and it
them.
and they've created it already, and then that's kind of the realization you have. It's like, yes, you could make the league where okay, they would force them to travel to Barca and Bayern every weekend to just play against the top clubs in each country.
Mm.
But like right now, they basically just do that in England, and England has a better quality. I would venture to say that like the lower tier English clubs, and actually maybe not like the Leicester didn't do well in Europa. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm even wrong about that. To be honest about
Like
the
if you
quality of those
want,
teams.
I think if you want team equality in the Premier League, in the league, right? Team equality, the cost of that is players who aren't quite good enough not being able to play at a competitive level, right? Like
Yeah.
if you want team equality where everyone ends up being a good team, then there's no room for anyone who isn't a great player, right?
Right.
Everyone who's an okay player has no means of playing the game professionally and earning, good money. You know, there's no room for a mid-table, championship team
Right.
in
Right.
that
Right.
model, right? So either you go for all team equality or you go for, this like huge hierarchy where, there's room for everyone at every level to play.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about Spurs. I'll give a quick shout out to a few of the players just because it was a scintillating match to watch, and we were talking about Conte and his impact on the squad. But Harry Kane on the score sheet again,
Yeah,
fantastic
he's done four
finish.
goals again.
I called it a classic Kane finish. I mean, sometimes you see Harry Kane in like the most odd angle, and it's just like a FIFA goal, like where
Some
he is like across the keeper, and it's just perfectly in the top
it's
corner.
some FIFA bullshit
Some
is what
yeah,
they call
well,
it.
exactly. But fantastic. Lucas, a goal and two assists. Fantastic energy all game. And man, dude, I mean, with the games in hand, I think they might finish top four. And do I think they can really win anything? I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe for them, a League Cup would be
Yeah,
great. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? I mean, Rory would probably troll them and be like, okay, because I guess it's the classic thing. It's like 2 League Cups since 1990 or some, or since some
Yeah.
date. So okay, now it'll be 3 League Cups. Great, good for
I
you,
mean,
Tottenham.
yeah, like if you're Spurs, it's never enough, right? So just stop caring, basically.
But yeah, man, they're good. And I guess maybe the last match of the big ones here that we haven't talked about yet is Chelsea. I was actually just
I'll be
watching the
honest,
highlights. Yeah, go ahead.
Rory, I just realized that I can see in the bottom corner how much time it's been recording. I just realized that
Yeah,
there's a
you did it.
timer
You could.
there.
Well, that's the thing. So okay, and this is a good little BTS for all the few viewers
Yeah,
out there. Yeah, I stream the OBS for Surya so he can
yeah.
see, what I'm gonna preview and my face and all that shit. And he just
Finally.
discovered, and you could have seen last week if I had shared it when I didn't have the sound on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it all, and yeah, we are going for 40 minutes right now, which is and I always got my eye on there. That's kind of why I'm never looking at all of you people. But yeah, Red Card Podcast likes to talk about this shit. In any case, Syria, Chelsea. What do you think of these guys? I mean, I think the story, the headlines, is all over the papers this morning on Paper Talk. Again, shout out to Hugh Izzy. Big Rom. I mean, he great finish with the header, wins the
Yeah.
penalty. He's kind of back in action. I guess the quote that he said was like, "Oh, he wants Chelsea to be the hunters or whatever." I think Chelsea are. I don't know if they're back in the hunt, but they're in it in the sense that like, you know, they're gonna be a nuisance. Like that match against Liverpool is gonna mean something. They could finish second. They could be the one who, you know, put some pressure on City. You never know. I still think like what I stand by what I said that they're a good enough squad to win the league at least. Maybe they won't, but they're still good enough. With Lukaku firing, if
Yeah.
Timo Werner actually fulfilled his price tag, maybe. I mean, Kai Havertz also I think is injured or something like that. So if he's in the
You know,
side,
it's
he'll have a
interesting,
little.
like you said hunters, because I remember there's this time Lukaku had this one hairstyle. He looked like Predator.
Oh really? Yeah, I gotta find that. We already looked at El Shaarawy's
Oh
hair. We
no, no,
gotta
okay.
do.
If you took Lukaku now, and if you took Victor Moses, the former
Oh, I
Chelsea
remember.
right back, his like
I remember what you're talking
hairstyle and
about.
head shape, you'd have Predator basically.
Oh, this hair. Oh my God, here I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Oh my God, at Everton. Okay, here you don't see it yet. Here, this is the one, right? For sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
and then here's another. I'll put on.
oh, you
Uh,
have a better link for
this.
me? Yeah, this
Oh no,
is.
so here's a photo of Victor Moses.
Oh, oh, baby. Here, I'll grab this for the
If he
first
had
one.
that on Lukaku, bro, Lukaku would look like Predator.
Okay, so let's get back to this here. Okay, so first we'll show here Victor Moses. Thank you, Surya, for sharing. Okay, so we got Victor Moses, and then Lukaku Dreads. I mean, this is the one I like the best. Oh my God, right here. This is the one I want to see.
Oh, here you go. I got it, bro. I found you the answer to all our questions. There it is.
Oh God, yeah, big Rom. It's crazy how many evolutions Lukaku had. I mean, he was at Everton, he was at United. Like, do you remember him at
Yeah.
United? Like, I thought they were gonna really tear it
Yeah.
up with him. I really thought
Yeah.
they could win the league. Like, I thought, but man, like,
It's the United way.
yeah, that is exactly Predator. I mean, I love that hairstyle. And what club is this for? This is like before. It's probably in Belgium or
West
something.
Brom.
West
West
Brom.
Brom. West Brom.
Wow, West Bromwich Albion. Yo, that's a nice kit. Oh, I'm trying to look to get some mystery kits right now. Yeah, dude.
I really wanted that Arsenal retro. They had this nice. Oh my god, dude, it was sold out
Bro,
the moment.
show me. Arsenal, my favorite, my favorite like rag on Arsenal is that they're merch drop at FC. Like that's when they're shit like
The
that.
one. Okay, so I sent the image. The one Emil Smith Rowe wearing that sweater. Oh, so here it is better.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, I saw this. I saw this. Did you see the actual ad too, or like the?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
video, yeah. That one.
You know, wait. Can we look when this was really? I bet you anything.
This
This
was the day after Arsenal lost to, I think,
exactly,
Everton. Lost to Everton, yeah.
exactly, and that's why I the last time when I saw when it was Merch Drop FC. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that is a great photo. I mean, here, let's go. Let's just show
This
Emil Smith Rowe
man, bro.
first.
I love how this man has managed to stay relevant and be an Arsenal ambassador
Dude,
after
that
his career
kid. Oh,
ended.
you mean Ian Wright?
Ian Wright,
I
yeah.
fucking love Ian Wright. Let me just say, he's one of my favorite pundits, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I mean, I
He's
like the.
all
Yeah.
about the vibes and the emotion. He's not about any of that analysis going. Well, somewhat, but he's all about
I
vibes
mean,
and
that's what
emotion.
he was as a player too. You
Yeah.
know, he was just like he was all about passion and desire and like, and it's great to see him. Like he's all over the YouTube scene too. Like he engages with the content creators you know in England. So he's really an awesome personality. And here, you know what? Fuck it. You sent the picture. I might as well bust him out. Oh wow, he's classy in this guy.
Bro, yeah,
Okay.
I love this guy.
All right, let's give him a shout out, Ian Wright. Shout out. We got to give it to him. Let's be real here.
He needs props, bro. He needs
He needs the
props.
props. Shout out Ian Wright. If you're out there, love from New York. Shout out,
Look at this guy, dude.
dude. Shout out Ian Wright. What a baller. This is what Aubameyang looked at. He's like, that's what I want to be.
That's what I want, dude. That's what I want.
But that's the problem with Aubameyang. Is like he was posing for this picture before he won the trophies. You know what I mean? He was just
Yeah.
like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
man.
no, you're right.
I
You're
mean,
definitely
he
right.
won. I mean that contract, bro, and then he fell off a cliff. But yeah, man, we talked a bit about Chelsea, and then maybe the last point on them. You know, they got the 3 points in here, but Reece James. I don't know if you saw the own goal, but it was a. You know, sometimes when you have those own goals where you're just like, what a finish, man. Where you're just like he scores a brilliant
Yeah.
goal. You're like, dude, that if you see it, it's just like the cross comes in from Tarjay, and it's like if it was an offender, it was just like he perfectly glances the header and it just loops over Mendy.
Beautiful.
What a finish, Reece James. But yeah, I mean Chelsea back in the hunt. I don't know, and we'll see. I mean, I guess the I don't know what the
They're
other
out of it,
fixture
bro.
was.
Chelsea have no chance of winning the league.
Yeah, well, I guess Leeds Liverpool was called off. I was actually interested, and I guess Wolves it was the other team. That was I don't know who they were going to play, but I think you mentioned that Wolves weren't going to play Arsenal. So I think that they're the other team that was plagued with COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that was
important.
interesting. So we'll see how that works. And I guess the last note I can kind of mention on that is just like I guess we can look at the table real quick and maybe the fixtures to end it off. I know I'll make maybe my point here, but I guess this, we had the COVID season where everything was behind closed doors, and you never know, it might actually happen again this season. But now I'm kind of feeling like this is also kind of a COVID-y season, if only
Yeah.
because the amount of turbulence in the squads and like who teams can field at any given week. It's almost like an additional kind of injury that you can have plaguing your
Yeah.
whole squad.
Yeah.
That's indiscriminate to anybody. That doesn't happen on the pitch. Like it's not a freak kind of accident or anything like that. It just kind of can happen. It can happen from them in the house, from their kids. You never know. Like it can, you know what I mean. And now the whole thing is, I'm glad I brought the table up. This is the games in hand. Like all over the league, the
many.
games in hand are mess. You've
Yeah.
got 16, so Spurs played 16 games. You've got Watford played 16 games. Everton played 17. Brentford 17. Leicester 17. Brighton 17. And then you have City played 19. Chelsea 19. Arsenal 19. And you know what's ironic? And Thogden, shout out to Thogden and Thogdad. He said it in his right at the end of his video, I think, after he went to the Spurs game. He's like, it seems like the ones that weren't called off were the ones that were going to be on TV.
Except
then
except the Arsenal Norwich game. I had to watch that on some South African channel, dude.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
So-
South African channel called Super Sport on DAZN.
So I guess we're back to your first point, where like, okay, not only did nobody cares about player welfare and like money only matters, but Arsenal are getting screwed because they weren't even on TV and they still got
Screwed.
So Arsenal, despite getting screwed, still getting the result. And you know what? I think they're gonna give Spurs a run for their money. If
But
only
they're getting
yeah.
FA'd.
F8, huh?
F'd in the A, bro, by the FA.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, yeah. I do think Spurs. I don't know. Spurs probably. I don't know. It's at home at Spurs. I still have a bad feeling that Spurs could beat Arsenal in that game, and that would not be good. That would be top four maybe gone, but
Well, that's the thing. That is a 6 pointer, and that probably will decide the fate
yeah,
of the race.
yeah,
And that'll be a really interesting. I mean, yeah, because we know United are out of it, and West Ham. Even if they
yeah.
get back into it to a degree, like obviously they with the games in hand, they won't be close, but they're really fighting for fifth and the Europa League spots. Like in the in the fullness of the season, I don't think they'll be able to really challenge.
Nope, nope,
It
nope,
was
nope.
it was kind
They
of
don't
a
got it.
yeah, it's a classic fall off that those teams will have, and I guess they can hope that they become the Leicester, I guess, but that doesn't really happen. Okay, and I guess let's fucking end with the fixtures here. I guess let's just look at that, bro. That's the games in hand, bro. What the hell, bro? Christ Almighty. But okay. Oh my God, every 3 days, and that's the other thing. We talked about Leicester. We didn't really talk about how bottle jobs they were. Again, I guess we focused on the City. Goddamn bottle jobs, man. Like they're bottle jobs, but like unfair for them. That was like really a great
Yeah,
example of like I forget which channel I was watching where the pundit mentioned it, but like them having to play the League Cup tie against Liverpool and then City 3 days later and then Liverpool again 3 days
yeah,
later. What is that? How is that even reasonable? That makes
yeah.
and that's all FA'd. That's all
Both
F
sides.
fucking A. They
Yeah.
be FA'd right there. That's who got FA'd. It's fucking Leicester. But yeah, I guess that's the next. We'll batter Brendan Rodgers. I
Look,
think
if
that's
the
pretty much my
FA,
prediction.
is gonna, if they're gonna rig the whole the league schedule as it is, just be a little considerate towards Leicester.
Yeah, a
Be a
little
little
bit,
considerate.
a little
If
bit.
you're
I mean, to
gonna
anyone.
cheat, I mean, like you can cheat, but don't be a bad guy.
My God. Oh my God. The game's gone, man. The game is gone.
Game's on,
The
bro.
game's gone, man. But yeah, I mean, of these fixtures, I guess they're tomorrow at this point. I guess I'll be watching Liverpool Leicester. I think I will win, but nothing really surprising here. I think the teams we expect to win will win. I think Palace
Yeah,
will get back on the
definitely.
horse.
Yeah,
Maybe Southampton might give Spurs a run for their money. It's going to be at
I
St.
hope so.
Mary's,
I hope
but
so.
I think Conte's team will have enough in them. It might be a 2-1. And Watford, you know what? They're at home, with West Ham being battered and bruised as they are. You never know. It could be they could get a result. They have a result in them at Vicarage Road. But yeah, maybe just like a second on Crystal Palace, like just because like they were the other side of the Spurs match that we talked about, and we just kind of glossed over it. But my God, like just because I remember us talking about Vieira in the first few episodes. I was so excited for that team. I thought he was really gonna have them. They're shambolic at the back, man. Tompkins and like
Shambles, yeah.
they're just a shambles, man. Like, and it's just so. I mean, I guess it's interesting too. Like, I guess at one point on that match, this Zaha. Like, I don't know if he was, he's
Mhm.
sent off, so that kind of probably changed the prospect for them. But my God, like they have no consistency or anything. So I don't know, but maybe this will be a chance to at home against Norwich to get back on the horse. I guess.
Some confidence going, yeah.
And yeah, I guess okay. So help me reason this out, Surya. Like, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is that the match week? Is that the next match week, right? Like, and then Saturdays is the match
Yeah.
week after that. Yeah, okay.
Well, like Arsenal have no game, yeah. So like this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think is for the
Right,
postponed game
right. And Arsenal's game that was postponed was supposed to be against Wolves, who's right,
against the Wolves. Yeah.
yeah, whose squad is just completely
Yeah. The
taken out by
reason.
COVID.
So the FA gave the reason for COVID and injuries. Like get over it.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting situation, but COVID I think is the primary like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, okay. Chelsea, Brighton, they'll probably win at Stamford Bridge, and Brentford and Welcome City. I mean, they'll probably get shattered, 3-4-0. Maybe they'll score one goal,
Yeah.
but I can't see that going any other way.
No.
Everton, Newcastle, who knows? I mean, at Goodison Park, I hope
Everton
Newcastle get a
probably.
win. Yeah.
I think Everton will win. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Newcastle. I mean,
Yeah,
but
or
with no St. Maximin and Callum, you're probably right that
yeah,
they won't get the result. And United Burnley. I mean, maybe not as many exciting fixtures for this
yeah.
game week coming up, but that might be good only because we can see the shit at Old Trafford and see if they can because that's a prime match where like Burnley can like park the bus and just frustrate the fans and like and the like if a chance doesn't go in and like Ronaldo's shrugging and everything like bro let's go one more draw.
Exactly. Man. That's the hope.
That's the hope. Well, I think that's pretty much it, man. I mean, it's interesting. I'm looking that next on Saturday. That'll be a good one. So like next week we'll have a lot of good. If you're around, like we'll have a lot of
Yeah.
good fixtures to talk about.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, man. So we're looking forward to that Arsenal Man City. But yeah, dude. Well, hope all is well. And again, FA, sort yourself out, okay? Player welfare, please. You're a bunch of frauds. All right. So thanks for watching, folks. But
I think
FA.
FA stands for Fraud Association.
Exactly. You know what, Surya? I'm glad I didn't end that. You have joined the fraudification squad with that one. The FA, you are now the fraud association. Sort yourself out. Get the players a fucking rest. Get them a winter break. Get them 5 subs. I'm with Pep. I'm with Rafa. And players, get the fuck on strike. Let's go. I'll
Give them
I'll be
all a
behind you.
Rolex. Give them all a Rolex. Give them a Lambos.
Exactly. And get Aubameyang out with the new drip for the like Shakhtar Donetsk that signs him or whatever, whoever whoever ends up paying the bills.
And join the EU. No.
Brexit FC. Oh, but yeah. In any case, fraud
Yeah.
association. Sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Peace and love.